righty. Just look at how beautiful and gorgeous that really is out there. Wow, just another one of those beautiful spring days, pipe pals and gals. Okay, and so today we are going to be doing a box opening. Yes, a box opening. And today we are going to be talking about part of this video, the new iPad Final Cut Pro app for iPad, coming right up. Well, howdy there, pipe pals and gals. A little bit of, oops, okay, that's not going to work. Always have a backup. Yeah. Even if it's cheapy, always a backup. Okay. Wow. Okay, so the housekeeping tonight, it is May the 23rd. I'm going to talk over there. May the 23rd. And I am smoking some Boswell's Paradise. Boswell's Paradise, okay. Hopefully that might make a good little thumbnail there, maybe, okay. And in that and I'm smoking this Boswell's Paradise in an absolutely beautiful pipe, handmade from one of our illustrious YouTube pipe creators, not just content creators, but actual pipe carvers. Mr. Philippe Rivera. And I asked him many, many years ago, probably about 10 years ago, to make this beautiful cherry wood. She is a good girl. Yes, she is. Look at the grain. Look at how beautiful that is. I haven't even polished this in probably years. But look at that. And it's a poker pipe, obviously. I tell you what, I'm really getting, I think, the full flavor out of that Boswell's. Okay, so here I am with also got a cup of coffee here in one of my favorite mugs. Yeah, that's right, that's me, the old Papa Bear. Ah, boy, that's good. Doing it black tonight. Doing it black tonight. Boy, that's good. And I'm using my Dr. Cave HyperX mic. I gotta love this crazy thing. I love this crazy thing. Okay, so tonight, pipe pals and gals, and you're probably wondering, well, good grief, we've already had 2 videos from you in this 1 month. That's enough. One's enough. You know, one's enough for a lifetime. Well, anyway, man, it's been a very beautiful spring day. I got my walking in, And I could even go for another evening walk at dusk time just to kind of commune with the bears, I guess, and the coyotes. Well, that's a nice pipe. I haven't smoked this pipe in a long time, and I just saw it sitting there. And I said, gosh, why don't I smoke that? That's a gorgeous thing. And what a work of art. So Philippe, if you're out there and you're still watching, thank you for this beautiful creation. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. A work of art. Work of art. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Boy, that's good. So anyway, gotta get a dust it off. You know, that's one of the sad things, Pipe Pals, about the pipe hobby is that because there are so few of us right now in the ranks, the people that actually work on pipes, and now maybe they're still out there, a few of them out there, hopefully there's a whole bunch out there and I don't even know about it. But it'd be nice to hook up with somebody that I could trust, that I could maybe ship the old pipes to and have them cleaned professionally and then restored, and I could get them back in about a month. That'd be awesome. But the pipe stores that were up here closed. Briar Patch, Tinderbox. There was a Tinderbox when I first got here 4 years ago in Reno, but unfortunately it has since closed. So, anyway, so let me come out from underneath the cloud there. And I'm going to now start a box opening because today was a very special day in the life of Final Cut Pro people like myself. My other avocation besides pipes is video editing, obviously. I think it's obvious. I make videos for my pipe channel and also my homily channel. And so today, this morning, on the 23rd of May, Apple released for the first time in probably, 17 years, I guess, yeah. Final Cut Pro has probably been around maybe at least 17 years, maybe 20 years, maybe longer than that. But yeah, the iPad came into existence around, 2011, I think it was, maybe 2013, 2012, I can't remember. But anyway, I think it was about maybe 2010, 2011, the first iPad came out. Anyway, so, you know, it was, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people were disappointed in it. A lot of people thought it was an unnecessary device and all that. And I'm not going to go into all the controversy about it. But safe to say, suffice it to say that those who, love the iPad, love it. Excuse me. And those who don't. So, but those of us who do love the iPad have been wanting for, the last, at least the last 10 years. I'd say the last 7 years. Let's see. Final Cut, the iPad, quote unquote, became the iPad Pro. And I'm using my M1 iPad Pro that I got 2 years ago because it can run the new Final Cut Pro software. Barely. Well, I would say barely. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to really put it through its paces by filming on the iPad. I will edit on the iPad and I will export and deliver my final video to YouTube on the iPad. That's my goal. That is what they have been promoting for the last 2 weeks, saying, hey, you can do all these things and more on the new iPad app for Final Cut Pro. So, yes, I downloaded the app today. I'm using it on the M1 iPad, but I decided because of the new advanced features to get a new M2 iPad with all the other extra features that the new app supports. So in order to do that, I thought, well, you know what? it's not every day that history is being made, and so I thought I can just go ahead and record it for posterity's sake. Not that I have a lot of posterity, that's for sure. So let's start with I'm just going to very unceremoniously just like that, and just like this. You know, most people really spend a lot more. They're a lot more careful doing this than I am. But let's see what we got here. Okay, I'll just put that box down there. And this is the Beastie here, the new iPad. I think I actually, on my channel somewhere, I don't know if it was on my Pipe channel or I think it was on my Homily channel. I actually did I think it was the first iPad opening for me. I think it might have been the second iPad. I can't remember. I think it was the first. And that goes back quite a ways, about 10 years. So anyway, so here's the new iPad, M2. And boy, this really takes me back, because when I did an iPad box opening, you know, I remember just being so excited about it. And the bottom line is that when I first heard about these, and you know, and I had my first iPhone, got my first iPhone, I was like, yeah, I like the iPhone. Now, here's the thing, and again, it's also true today, on May 23rd, as we open up this iPad here. Basically, that the promotional stuff is sometimes the hype is greater than the reality. And I'm just going to tell you right up front, so you're wondering, well, did you like the app? Was it any good? You know, and you know what? Some of the features that I use on every week, and they're on the desktop version. They're actually on the desktop version and even an iMovie version. And for some reason, they just don't put them on the iPad, whether it's iMovie or whatever. Scrolling text feature. And I think I talked about that in a video not too long ago. But the bottom line is that I use that so that as I read the readings, that it scrolls, kind of like the old Star Wars thing, right? So you can read along with it. You're getting into the story. And a lot of people love that. They just feel that it really helps them to focus on the gospel or the readings that I'm going to be talking about. It's like, oh, okay. It gives them a point of reference. And it's not a big deal. It's an old standard kind of a video effect, really. I mean, at this stage in life. I mean, so the thing is, I remember a couple weeks ago, I've been starting to be intrigued by DaVinci Resolve, and I started thinking, well, you know, I'll wait for the iPad app, and then I started watching these DaVinci Resolve videos, and that's probably where I really probably got into a lot of trouble. And so I said, well, you know what? You can download that one for free, but it's very complicated. It's very sophisticated. Maybe complicated might be the wrong word, but sophisticated. It's a little bit more. It really is a true pro app for the iPad. Long story short, I found out that they do indeed have the scroll text feature. I couldn't believe it. There it was, right there, scrolling text. I said, that's what I want. That's what I've been wanting for a long time. And then the other thing about DaVinci Resolve, and they're famous for their color page. The DaVinci Resolve, this is what they use in just about all Hollywood movies and, you know, documentaries and everything. They use DaVinci Resolve for color grading, color correcting, and color, you know, finessing, you know, all the beautiful colors. So maybe I can even find a couple of shots that I can show you. Now, again, I'm not a colorist, so, you know, probably some people go, wow, that's pretty garish what you think is really good. But it punches up the colors a lot. And maybe some people might not like that. Again, but that's the thing. You have almost unlimited control color-wise in DaVinci Resolve. So that's the thing. So when I found out they had scrolling text, and then I learned a little bit more about color, just a little bit, to be dangerous, color grading, I said, oh my gosh, this app is actually pretty awesome for the iPad. So I was kind of thinking, well, it's kind of giving me a taste for when the Final Cut Pro app comes. So Final Cut Pro app came today, and I'll be using it on the new M2 iPad as well as the M1 that I'm using right now. But Pipe Pals and Gals, I'm sad to say that, oh man, I was really disappointed. I opened it up and I downloaded it. I was excited about it. Oh man, I was like, I even, texted some friends and said, hey, it's here. History's being made as we speak. And oh man, I was just so excited about it for today. But I kind of knew that just like a lot of things in life, the expectations sometimes don't meet the reality. And I thought for sure that this one little feature that is so, kind of almost archaic now, it's just a kind of just like, you think about like a Super 8 video gimmick that those cameras had sometimes, maybe it was a fancy cross dissolve or something, You just think, well, that should be baked in. That's just a standard thing, They didn't have it. I was so disappointed. I thought, oh my gosh, you got to be. I feel like the kid in the Christmas movie, the Christmas Story movie. He's sitting there and he's got his little orphan Annie decoder ring, and he thinks that he's going to be getting this extremely important message that's going to save the Western world, from the evils of whatever, communism or whatever. And, it says basically as he puts the letters down on the page and he's fiddling around with this thing and decoding the numbers into letters, whatever. And at the very end, it says, drink your Ovaltine? A stupid commercial? That sense of, I've been jaded, I've been skunked, it's like oh man. So that's kind of the way I felt a little bit. And I kind of was prepared for that though. Being an old codger like me, I kind of said, well, just know that you are basing, like everybody else, that you have a lot of assumptions because the full-fledged desktop version does have all the things that I normally use on a weekly, daily basis. It's no big deal. But I really thought the iPad was going to have all that and more. And I kind of sense that just be careful. And so I wasn't 100% devastated by it, but I was very disappointed when I said it's just a basic feature that most people would take for granted. But you would say, oh yeah, that's going to be there. And it's not. Now, maybe in a future update, who knows? There may be some workarounds. I was trying to play with keyframing and animation, but I couldn't quite figure that out. Some other people were saying the same thing, that the animation and the keyframing is a little bit off or different. It's just different. But once you learn it, it's not a big deal. So maybe I could create scrolling texts with animation, but I don't know. I've tried it in other videos, and it's just really clunky. It's time-consuming. It's tedious. It's just unnecessary. All you need to do is just drag and drop your little filter. Basically, that's all it is just a little action filter, and you put your text in there, and Bob's your uncle. It's just, the easiest thing in the world, but for some reason, it didn't come to the iPad. This is like, well, at least the Final Cut Pro version, but DaVinci Resolve had it. When I don't know what it was, I said, well, maybe if I just download DaVinci Resolve, because you can do it for free, and just look at it and just say, well, let's see what they got. Maybe they do. And when I went into text, I hadn't seen anybody talk about it. But all of a sudden, there it is, scrolling text. Oh my, I was so excited. My little heart raced, because I need that feature in my other videos. Don't need it in this one so much, but the other videos, yeah. So anyway, and then I also got some other accessories for this beastie here. Let me put it up here. I'll probably open it up in a little bit. And a dear friend made it very clear that the iPads that they like have Wi-Fi. So I normally don't get Wi-Fi, but I said, you know what? Maybe they're right. So I'm going to get Wi-Fi. A little bit more expensive, but I'm worth it. Yeah. So I got a Wi-Fi iPad just in case. Just in case. That's all I'm going to say. Yep, that's all I'm going to say. Now I'm assuming this is the accessories that I got for the iPad here. So, whoops. Pipe Pals. We're okay. We're okay. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what happens. That's what happens when you. Oops. Well, That's what happens when you get an M2 iPad. They're kind of strange animals. Okay, and now this is a new feature that they're putting in iPads now, and this is an accessory, so just in case it does fall without a case, it'll land on this, so you can wrap it up in this. This is like the new cover for the new iPad. Yeah. And if that didn't work, then you've got a backup cover. Always have a backup. That's what I say. Always have a backup. Yeah. And then if that backup doesn't work, then you've got 2 extra backups just in case the first two don't work. Okay? Yeah. All right. Okay, so, yeah, so you do need, a Apple Pencil. So I got the Apple Pencil to go with the new iPad. And, of course, a keyboard. Another new keyboard, which, okay, so, yes, you need a keyboard. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. If you know keyboard shortcuts, I know some, not all. There's thousands, maybe thousands, but hundreds of keyboard shortcuts. So if you know your keyboard shortcuts, by pals and gals, then yes, it is a very necessary, good piece of tech to have with your iPad. So let me kind of rearrange things here, kind of put things back to where they normally would be on a regular Holy Smokin' Pipe Padre video. Yeah. Okay, see, we got that. Okay, so we're over there, right over there. So I just need to talk to these little numbers right there. Okay, hopefully. Making eye contact with you. Okay, so there you go. An unboxing of the M2 iPad Pro. So there you go. So I'm using my old M1 because it actually can run the new app. The older iPads, which are amazing still. I mean, the ones from 2018 that I got 5 years ago, they're still great machines. It's like, okay, but unfortunately for the people at Apple, they just kind of for some reason they just said nope, got to have a newer machine to run the new Final Cut Pro app. So, I don't know why it does that. Looks like a little volcano, and it burns my shirts. That's why I had that red jacket for a number of years. I have to bring that back. I found it, by the way. Yeah. It's just life, I guess, Yep, I was. You live and learn, as they say. Yeah, that's good. So, I'm excited about today. I literally, like so many people, have waited for this day for a long time. To be able to do, make actual videos on the iPad. Now, a lot of times you can, I'm sure I've made several videos in the past years, maybe certainly using my iPhone. That's my standard go-to little camera. And I always thought, well, if you had the Final Cut Pro program, you could film, you could edit, and you could export all in one device instead of having to shoot it on the camera, load it onto the main computer, and then do all your editing on that, and then export it, to upload it to YouTube or wherever, or Rumble. So anyway, so it's been a day that when I first, it was 2 weeks ago today that I got up about 6:30 and had a cup of coffee, did a little morning prayer, and then I turned on YouTube just to see what was happening, what was going on. And my friend from Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, Matthew O'Brien, was on with a live stream. You know, and I like his videos. He's a Final Cut Pro editor like I am. Very, very knowledgeable. He actually has a film company. I think it's called Midland Pictures. And so he does documentaries. But anyways, just an awfully nice guy. Always, with the exception, I don't think he's ever missed I've always make lots of comments, especially when his videos are super good. And I'll say, oh, you know, I liked what you said here. And maybe I'll ask him a question. And he's very much the gentleman, and he always gets back to you. I don't know how he does it, but he does. At least I don't think he's ever missed one of my comments responding. He's always, you know, maybe it might be a little simple response, but he's always been very good to respond. So he was on live stream 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about the unbelievable. You know, it's like, yeah, Final Cut Pro is coming to the iPad, folks, in 2 weeks. I'm like, no way. No way. I mean, I feel like I was a kid waiting for Christmas. I couldn't wait for today. And so this morning, you know, I'm up early and I'm looking at the Apple Store and trying to figure out, well, I don't see any app for the Final Cut Pro, and where is it? And finally, you know, after a cup of coffee, you know, I took a quick walk and I did some other little things. And I remember, I don't know how I found that it was actually available. And, you know, again, it just happened so quick, and everybody was uploading videos and talking about this and demonstrating it. Most people were, you know, demonstrating the new app. So it was like, okay. I'm with you. And just exciting stuff. So anyway, like I said, I did download it. I haven't really fully embraced it, but here's the thing. And I think it's just like anything in life. It's like moving into a new house or getting a new car. I think that's a good analogy. I think that works. Maybe even a new pipe. I remember a couple of pipes that I had, and they looked great. Now this one not only looks great, but it smokes great. Hardly. Some pipes, you know, to be honest with you, they just aren't really well made. And one of the big problems of pipe smoking is that the bowl can get real hot real fast. It's almost like an Intel processor in a laptop. It gets hot real fast. Doggone it. That's a new shirt too. I'm a little bit irritated right now. Because it seems like every time, I put on clean clothes usually in the morning, and by the afternoon I'm filthy dirty. Because there's just so much work to do around here all the time. Just work. And I don't mind working, but sometimes it's like, you know, you just get so dirty up here. So it's a very dry climate, and also is very dusty. Just call me Father Dusty. Yeah. But it's like learning the new software is like learning how to drive a new car, or moving in a new house, or getting acquainted with a new pipe. You know, it's not going to be like the old thing. I have some similarities. You know, car has 4 tires and a steering wheel, and maybe a windshield or 2. But other than that, everything is going to be different. The whole layout's going to be different. You know, the lights might be on this side instead of that side, or the radio dial might be totally different, you know, now with these touch screen, you know, things, you know, the push buttons. I don't know if some of you guys may remember good old push buttons on your radio, you know, and you could kind of dial in and pull it out and then set your button, and then you push that button and it goes to KFBK or it goes to KFIA or whatever your favorite radio station was, you know, WZBT or something like that. I don't know. And, you know, nope, there are no push buttons like that anymore. So it's a whole different thing. You have to relearn it. So a lot of the people that were like me, who were, you know, on one hand, they were kind of like, okay, this is exciting. I keep looking outside because I keep wondering if we got bears. We had a nice bear. I think I showed you that in the last video, that cinnamon bear. But what most of the YouTubers were saying, maybe I'll pull this up a little bit, do a little zoom in here. Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go, yeah. Okay, what they were saying was, well, guys, guess what? Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to learn a whole new system. Now, it's not that complicated. I mean, if once you are familiar with NLEs, nonlinear editors, you know, it's just trying to figure out, okay, where do I find, you know, my whether it's my titles or my color correction or my audio or my transitions, you know, or my importing my footage, you know, it's all the basics are there. You just got to figure out where they put them. You know, where do they live now? And one guy just kind of smiled as he was kind of like going, you know, guys, guess what? We thought we were going to get this, and the reality is we got something different. And he says, we're just going to have to realize we got to learn something new. And I think that a lot of us, yours truly, was thinking it was going to be exactly what it's like on the standard desktop, and you didn't have to learn anything. You're able to pick it up and start without having to learn anything. There's not going to be no learning curve. And the thing is, the reason why there is a learning curve is because this is a totally different interface. Yeah. I remember that was the thing that I really got excited about with the iPad, is that, you know, even though the iPhone certainly has that technology, seeing it on a tablet and being able to kind of manipulate the tablet, especially with the drawing features, the painting features and all that, and just, you know, it was kind of like, wow, this is kind of revolutionary. I like this. There was something really nice about it. See, when you do the thing on the phone, you know, a lot of it's not, yes, you're touching your phone and but you would touch like a telephone. You know, telephones have always been very tactile, you know, whether it was the rotary, you know, okay. Or, you know, even the push buttons on the you know, slimline telephones. Some of you may remember those too. So I don't think you thought about it the same way as when you did the iPad. Once you picked up the iPad, now you're not just doing numbers. You know, pressing a button for a number, even though it's kind of just a flat two-dimensional thing, it still was kind of, it wasn't like this revolutionary thing like, oh. But once you start creating things and you're manipulating a program that you normally would use a keyboard and a mouse, then you kind of saw, wait a minute, this is different. And so that's what Dylan Bates, the Final Cut bro, kind of gave everybody. It was like, yeah, okay. He gave everybody that little wry smile, going, well, it's basically not the same Final Cut Pro. It's Final Cut Pro, but for the iPad, and that's a whole different experience. And that means we're going to have to learn how to do it on the iPad now. So it's a little bit of a, it's like when your parents, I wouldn't say they're trying to trick you, but I have a friend who has this little story. during Lent, you're not supposed to eat meat. So they went out to a restaurant, and so the little kid says, well, I want a hamburger. We could have a hamburger's Lent. And you can have, but then they said, well, can I have you mean I can't have a steak either? No. What about this thing? It says salmon steak. Can I have that? And then Dad goes, oh, yeah, you can have that. And they get the steak, and they think, yeah, I made out, They found out it's something they don't like. It was fish. Yuck. And it's like, but it said steak. So you heard steak. You didn't hear salmon steak or halibut steak, whatever it was. And you feel kind of like, I kind of got cheated there. I got cheated. I got set up, And in some ways, this kind of is a little bit like that. It's like, okay, I was. A lot of people were thinking, well, will it be like the desktop version? Because if it is, there's no learning curve involved. I know that. And the guy says the reason why we're having to learn a new interface simply is because it's all touch. It's all touch. You're doing touch stuff, And that's what people were saying they wanted. On one hand, we're to blame. I'm to blame. Yep, me. Right here. You blame me. Oh, I want a touch face experience. You got it. Have fun. Now, I'm not complaining so much. I mean, if they had the scrolling text thing, I would be like going, okay, I don't care about the learning curve. I mean, it's not that big of a learning curve. Come on, it's Final Cut Pro. If you know it, you know basically the basics. Okay, all you need to do is go out and find it, And then there's tutorials, and that's not a problem. It's just that the features that I was looking for, the only one feature, and it's just one, that would make me happy. It just wasn't there. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a work one. Maybe there'll be a plugin that will bring that kind of text animation. That's all I'm looking for. So anyway. Okay. So this was just a simple, sort of simple, pipe video. Again, thanks to Philip Rivera for this beautiful masterpiece. Look at how that glows in the evening sun. Oh my gosh, look at them colors. That's the other thing too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that justice. That's the only problem that I'm kind of concerned about. But apparently, the colors should be pretty good. This is a reference. Well, this isn't the reference one. The new one's the reference monitor, but I know. I think this will be fine. But gosh, the color on this, just like the very first day I opened it, So again, thanks, Philip, if you're watching, buddy. Okay. So, and if you've been watching my box opening for my M2 iPad Pro with accessories. Yeah, I thank you for your undivided attention. And we will see you in the next one. So, hope you're having a great May 23rd. Light up your world and light up your pipe and enjoy and have a beautiful, wonderful spring evening. We'll see you in the next one.